Hi, Tracy Hess from Zoned2BToned. I'm sitting here with an incredible medical advisor. His name is Sean Bean. Sean, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Tracy, and yourself?
I'm doing really great. You know, Sean, as New Year's come about, we have a lot of issues. There's a lot of people, as a trainer myself, and of course as yourself, come about with a lot of issues. Can you please explain to me, how long have you been in this business?
I've been in this business approximately 20 years. I've currently worked at YMCA's as I was younger, and as I continue my education through Westchester University, I've graduated with a Bachelor's of Science. And currently I'm in a university called World Institute of Integrative Health and Science, which is a learning university dedicated to natural health modalities.
Now, can you explain to our viewers what type of services is this? How does this benefit and help people?
Well, as a physician consultant or medical advisor, what I do is I analyze where the imbalances are in the body, and I try to find the root causes of the problems. Traditionally, medical doctors, they are only expertise in one specific area. What I try to tend to do is I tend to look at all areas. For example, the GI tract, neurological systems, immune systems,
Right, so full
and
balance.
keep the body, bring it back into full balance.
Okay, because I know some people will come. A lot of people don't know why they're tired. They don't know why they are gaining weight. Those kind of things. So that's the kind of thing you guys sort of for yourself work with to help people find out what the problem is. What type of degrees that you have in this field?
Well, by going through a learning college, you get certifications. I have a lot of certifications. They range from national certifications for NLP, hypnotherapy, nutrition, hair analysis, and many, many others.
Okay. What are some of the, and I know there's liabilities, so we have to watch what we say, but what are some of the concerns on a daily basis that you see from some of the clientele that do come to you?
When the clientele tend to approach me, they tend to, most of it's GI-related issues. With the way the environment's going, we really have to be focused on the food we eat, the water we drink, and the air we breathe, because these contain a lot of toxins which we become exposed to, and they are showing a lot of problems with hormonal disruptions in the system.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, and Sean, how are your services able to help these individuals become healthier?
As I mentioned before, what I tend to do is I tend to look at the entire person. You have to look at all the systems, otherwise you're not going to get a overall wellness of a person. Too many people look at one area and they don't look at the total picture. We tend to micromanage a lot, and you have to look at the broad spectrum of what people are currently going through. Not only their health, you have to look at their mental aspect, you have to look at the environmental toxins, you've got to look at their lifestyles. Lifestyles is the biggest factor that's affecting us as a whole country.
That's true.
People just don't understand how proper sleep can actually start a whole cascade of events.
Right.
That
Because
can lead into diabetes, that can lead
Right.
into a lot of different imbalances within the body.
And we see this as the world goes through their so-called recession and people have to work more hours. They claim they don't have a lot of time. They're not getting a lot of sleep. They're grabbing fast food because they can't get their meals in. I'm sure there's a way around all that. Do you help them with balancing things, those kind of things to help
That's
them get
correct.
back on track?
That's correct. What I tend to do is the main area which I deal with is stress. Stress comes in many forms. It comes through biological, psychological, structural, and also environmental. So what one needs to do is we need to look at all those factors and take into consideration. Otherwise, if you just look at the biological factors, you're not even looking at the psychological factors.
I see.
And everything impedes each other.
Right. So people don't know that. So you guys help that balance. You kind of figure out what's going on and help them become more balanced individuals. Sean, what made you take an interest for this career choice, I should say?
Well, what happened, I had a life-changing event. And people would look at it as a curse, but eventually I learned to turn it into a blessing, because it was this life-changing event that led me into the field that I'm in today, dealing with medical and natural health. As a bodybuilder, we push our bodies to the limits. And unfortunately, many athletes are starting to see that today because 20, 30 years ago, we didn't have to worry about the environment toxins, the endogenous.
Right. Things have changed a lot.
Things have changed tremendously. And these are starting to impact athletes, which are a lot of my clients. And I'm starting to see, as preparing these people for events, that what normally we would have done 20 years ago, we need to look at a whole new aspect.
Right. Different ballgame.
It's a different ballgame now with the intervention of supplements, because supplements are wonderful, but a lot of times with people's biochemistry, it may interact. And a lot of these people are taking these supplements and don't know that they're putting their body at potential harm.
Right.
And the proper evaluation of looking at a person's lifestyles, their nutrition. Nutrition is the biggest concern that I have with people, and a lot of people's diets and lifestyles are leading into their current health conditions.
Right, bad habits, becoming bad habits, yes.
It's becoming epidemic across the United States.
Yeah, it's bad, it's a bad concern. This is why I decided to do this health and wellness internet site, because of the problems that we're having. And people read magazines and all types of things, but everybody individually are different. And you need to have programs geared to you and you only, not because your friend's doing it, not because you read about it. You do need to see a professional. Let them get down to the basis of what's really going on with you. And I think that will help a lot of people if they could do that. Now, I want to ask you another question. And you did say you work with competitors and athletes.
Correct.
How are you able to help them with their games? And
what I tend to do in that area is I tend to take it a step above any other nutritionist out there. Using the term nutritionist is just one small part of what I entail in my comprehensive approach to creating the optimal athlete.
When people hear that, I'm glad that you're going to answer this question, because when they hear that word, the first thing you think about is someone putting you on a diet. As soon as you hear nutritionist, but he goes further than that. He's not a nutritionist, he goes deeper than that. And nutritionists, basically, they just give you a plan, and you go in deeper than that plan.
Yes.
So, okay, I'm sorry, I wanted to finish answering your question. But
what I tend to do is, because I'm not a medical doctor, I cannot prescribe, diagnose, or treat. But what I can do is with athletes, if they work along with their doctors, I can interpret their blood reports and give them feedback, which they can then report back to their doctors that they may need further evaluation for some kind of ailment. Because as bodybuilders and athletes, triathlon and marathon runners, they tend to go on extreme diets.
Right.
And these extreme diets can cause imbalances within the immune system, within the endocrine system, and it can cause sleep disturbances. And with the athletes I have worked with, one of the comments they notice is they say it's a walk in the park compared to previous prep, is because of the fact of by looking at the comprehensive approach, they don't have the sleep disturbances, their skin's much healthier, their parents and their loved ones notice that they don't have as much mood swings. Many of the competitors that I have brought up have been placing top 1 and 2 in contests, as well as qualifying for the national level within their first contest. But it's the idea of just not competing, it's the idea of also being a life coach with them.
Absolutely.
Because as a nutritionist, you're just focused on nutrition. For my clients, I have a very limited amount that I deal with each year, because I want to be able to give the full focus
And that's important.
to each individual, because I do have training in a lot of areas outside of medical. And with this training, it allows them, if they have a problem or anything, they can come to me and talk to me to make a logical decision. I pull people out of contests because of their events that they have been going through, family events. I said, it's not worth it. Competing is not worth your health.
Right, and that's true. I like the fact that, Sean, not only that you, of course, you're a competitor, you are well-rounded. And if you can start from that world and then go into the deeper, healthier part of how to prepare for shows the right way, I mean, you're the kind of person I would come to, because you have the knowledge of everything. You're well-rounded. You don't have to go to this one and that one and that one and get the stories and get things all conflicted, which most bodybuilders and competitors do. They talk to too many different people. They're blogging or taking stuff off a blog. That does not work for them. I love the fact that you stay with your people in all those aspects, and that is big. And by the way, nobody knows this. I am working with Sean. I'm making a comeback next year, and he is going to be working with me, so I can contest to what he's going to be doing to make my changes. I'm very excited about that. We're going to get into your competitive world, because everybody knows Sean Bean's a national competitor. How many shows have you competed in?
I've competed in a numerous amount of shows. I've been competing ever since I was age of 21.
Wow. How old are you now, Sean?
I am now
He set
38.
himself up for that.
Actually, my first competition was with you, down at the Haverford School.
I remember, Sean.
You always had that long hairpiece in, and you're always one of the most graceful bodybuilders who posed.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And I worked very hard, and I had a great coach at that time. Of course, I don't have the coach now, but that's why it's important when you're going to come back, and I am getting older, of course, you need someone else can get you back to where you were, because things I've done before is not going to work for me now. That I do know. So I want to be in the expert's hands.
And that's one of the things that I can bring to the table because of my medical experiences. I've been under doctor's supervision for 5 years dealing with hormonal issues with women. Because as we age,
That's a big, big problem.
our bodies change.
Right, it's true.
And you can't do, as you mentioned, you can't do the same thing that you used to be able to.
No, it ain't working.
So you have to take a different approach.
Yeah, it's not working.
And I tend to not be an extremist when it comes to nutrition. I tend to be the mediator. A lot of the diets, the ketogenic diet may work for others, but I don't find it to be the most healthiest diet
Right.
because of the effects it has on the bodies when you go deeper into the biological aspect of it. Because a lot of people that I've known have been on keto diets, they've actually ended up with type 2 diabetes.
And
For
that's a
prolonged-
problem, right, for that long starving yourself,
For a
and your
long
body
time.
can't deal with that. And that's important knowledge. That's what I was saying, get off the blogs and stop talking to these different people, because what they do may not work for you. Everybody is different. And again, you got to go to an expert that will figure out what you need to get you to where you need to be. Okay, Sean, you're getting off that subject of competing. What you tell us? I know you've done national competitions. What are some of the big titles that you've won?
I've won Delaware. I've won all my classes, and actually a lot of the competitors and stuff, the judges were pushing me to go to the national level. They told me, don't come back to the regional contest anymore because of my caliber. Again, that was 10 years ago. Things have changed. Eventually, I will make a comeback, but I've got some things that I have to take care of first. Competing was part of my life back then, and it was kind of a priority, but as you get older, priorities change.
It changes. That's true.
And,
Absolutely.
I'm looking to have a family. I'm looking to settle down, get married.
Ooh, you said that on film. I would like to say, though, Sean, I'm one of the NPC judges, and I've watched him throughout his ranks in his career. And I don't think I have seen a most polished, conditioned bodybuilder. He has not walked into one show not looking like he deserved to win it. You always came in tight. You did your homework, and you can tell he deserved to win his shows. So I just wanted to share that with everybody, that you are not just talking, you practice what you preach. And even when your bodybuilding is done, you still stay in the lifestyle sort of aspect of it. You keep your body in great shape. Some bodybuilders, I've seen them at shows, and I don't know who they are now. So that's really, really big, Sean. I have to say that. You definitely practice what you preach. And that's the kind of person I would want to see, is someone that actually lives the life, not speak it. And well, here's the next question. What is in the future for Sean Bean? I know you were getting on that, ready to answer that with competitive bodybuilding.
With a competitive bodybuilding, once I feel the time is right, I will make a return to the stage. But right now, it's not in the near future.
Not a priority.
It's not a priority right now. Like I said, there's much more other things to life than competing. And as we all know, it can get to be very expensive.
It is very expensive, and I think a lot of people don't realize that when they want to do this. They don't realize what the sport details. And if you're really serious about it, these are the levels you got to go to get what you want, to be where you are. And then you do have to ask yourself the questions: is it worth it? It's fun on the local levels and things, but that local levels, you get hooked and you want to move up, and that's when things get really, really crazy.
Aspect to your life, but a lot of times, a lot of bodybuilders are unbalanced. They are so focused on their body, and a lot of their relationships tend to sacrifice because of the constant dieting, the mood swing. So you have to have a very supportive spouse or a
True.
significant other to live the lifestyle
To live
with
the
you.
lifestyle. That's true. I totally agree. I live that, and I understand what you're saying. It's really, really hard. Well, Sean, let's see. Let's ask you, because you're so into health and fitness, does Sean have any cheat days? Does he like to eat bad food every once in a while? Because we know he's human. What is it? What's a cheat meal for you? When do you cheat?
Well, because I have some underlying health issues, I have to be very cautious on what I eat. I have a gluten sensitivity, which is coming up a lot in the patients that I deal with doctors. There's a lot of hidden food allergies that we need to be concerned of because it causes the inflammation in the body. And inflammation is the root of a lot of the pathogenesis of disease out there. And so I really have to be concerned with the type of foods I eat, because even the smallest amount of gluten may trigger off a reaction in my body. So when I'm going out and stuff, I just have to be really cautious. So my diet is very, very strict because it's not because it has to. It's not by
by choice.
It's by choice.
By choice. Yeah.
Because my health is very crucial. I have a very lovely girlfriend, and I want to be around her for a long time.
She is very lovely.
So,
hi, Laura.
So I want to prepare myself for that because I am 38, going on towards 40,
Still young.
and
Still young. Oh my God.
since I practice anti-aging medicine and principles, I apply them to my daily life, and as well as a lot of my competitors, because of being in a naturopathic background. This takes me above anybody else out there who's looking to lose weight or to compete, or just a person who just wants to be healthy overall.
And that's what I was speaking earlier. Well-rounded. You got to find someone that knows every aspect of fitness. What are your goals? Well, whatever your goals are, Sean will be able to help you. Now, Sean, please share with everybody, how can they contact you for like potential clients? How do they contact you?
They can contact me by my email is matrixhealthandwellness@gmail.com, and you can send me an email and I'll respond back to you within a few business days, and we can set up a consultation over the phone, and then you can come in and we can sit down and talk.
Absolutely, guys. I'm telling you right now, I am going to be one of his guinea pigs. But I'm in good hands, and I'm very happy about it. Please, 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 if you are having these issues that we've spoken about, please contact Sean Bean at the website and email that he just gave you. Sean, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are amazing. I love you.
Thank you, Tracy, for having me.
And we want to say before we leave, because it is the holiday time, we want to wish everybody a happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and start your new year off right with Sean Bean. Tracy has Zoned2BToned.
Sean Bean, Matrix Health and Wellness. See you next time.